film. Is it a movie, film, or a film? Is it a movie,
Great movie,
or a film?
fascinating
Is it a
film.
movie,
Love that movie.
or a film?
Haven't heard of that
Is it a
film.
movie,
It's my favorite
or a
movie.
film?
I'm a bit of a cinephile.
Hey, MFers, welcome to Guestober. You're listening to
Movie.
Film.
Film. That was clunky. It's a podcast where we
Yeah,
take a
that was-
flick and decide if it's a movie or a film. I'm Nate, and I would die for her. I would kill for her. Either way, what bliss.
And I'm Terrill. And real witches hate children.
And I'm Jenna. And we're all here to learn, to grow, and just plain have fun, because that's what being privileged is all about.
Yeah.
That's Addams Family Values.
Yeah.
That's a great quote from the movie.
I
Yeah.
wrote it down in my notes and everything.
Where's yours from, Nate?
The Addams Family. The
It's
first
from
one.
the Addams Family?
Terrill,
The
is yours
first one?
from-
Oh, okay. It sounded real familiar.
Is yours from Witches?
It is from the witches.
I figured that it was thematically appropriate because of Angelica Houston. Yeah.
And I know you just watched that yesterday. How does it hold up?
I did, yeah. It's weird. It's I feel like you watch it as a kid and then you remember that scene. I think that's like the best thing about the witches is the scene where they take off their wigs and Angelica Houston like has that like great prosthetic work on. But I think besides that, it's a fairly simple concept, and it's you watch it as an adult and you just go, oh, not much happens, and they kind of just like rush the ending so that he wouldn't be a mouse anymore, you know? Like for some reason they don't explain why there's a good witch at all, but she was in the movie the whole time being a bad witch. But now, yeah, it's just like they kind of just throw like foaming in at the end of the movie. But the prosthetic work is still great. It's still great. It's still great to see them turn into mice. Angelica Houston is great. She's phenomenal. A phenomenal actor.
And they're remaking it with Anne Hathaway, right?
Yeah, Anne Hathaway and Octavia Spencer.
I think
So I'm
it's
hoping
Zemeckis
whatever.
is doing it. Very jarring.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will not use prosthetics. He'll use some very unnerving CGI.
Oh, but
bullshit.
Guillermo del Toro is working on it, so maybe there will be prosthetics.
Oh, okay.
Questionable.
No.
Or
Right.
a mouse is gonna fuck one of the humans, and
And
it'll be a love story.
No. Oh, no.
Don't you bad
No.
talk. Best Picture winner, The Shape of Water.
I liked that one. I know Terrill
Easy.
couldn't
Oh.
get past it.
It's so great.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't get over it. No. What else has anyone watched?
I watched another movie that fits in the category we're doing. I watched Death Becomes Her
Oh,
for the
that
first time.
Oh, nice.
so
For the
good.
first time.
Yeah, speaking of Robert Zemeckis,
Yep.
this was him in his prime,
Yeah.
and the technology wasn't advanced enough for him to make horrible mistakes. And Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn and even Bruce Willis is really good in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is more often than not untrue. He's usually really terrible. And also the kind of character he picked he has is he's not like alpha, he's the most beta.
Yeah, which is kind of
that was-
nice.
But really it's about Meryl and Goldie.
Yeah, and Meryl, like, I often feel like she's acting too much. Like, that's just like a thing that Meryl Streep does. She acts. It's not like Cate Blanchett, who will give you 110% when like 60 would suffice. Meryl Streep's always just like going hard and she didn't have to do anything. She could just exist on screen, and we would be fine with it. Yeah. Zemeckis with Forrest Gump too, right? It's like why did we have a CGI feather?
Because it's thematic.
What's the point?
Because that movie's a lot smarter than you think.
Ah, right. Stupid is as stupid does, isn't it? There's another movie quote. I watched the Rum Diary this morning because I'm prepping that episode for my podcast, Depp Impact. So I'm making my way through Johnny Depp's filmography. But Terrill and I recently watched.
Did he direct that one?
No, he was just in it. He produced it.
Oh, okay.
But
it was a passion project, though. I remember.
Yeah. No, Johnny Depp's only directed one movie called The Brave. Haven't gotten there yet, but it looks like a treat. But Terrill and I watched Sleepy Hollow recently, and Christina Ricci also showing up and doing great. And he was on my podcast for that, which is awesome.
That's why I brought you on too. I just wanted to continue the Christina Ricci like love fest over here on our side.
And it does continue with perhaps her most iconic role.
So good.
Yes, so good.
Did you watch anything else, Terrill?
No. I mean, I watched the first Addams Family movie.
Same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to just talk about that?
One. Yeah. We can talk about that.
I mean, I've rewatched The Master, but I don't need to like go on a whole thing. I mean, I could, but I feel like.
Oh, you watched The Master? It's been on my list forever.
I'll still watch it with you.
Okay.
This was my first time seeing it in a while, and
Joaquin's really good.
Yeah, everyone is, but yeah,
it's amazing that movie. Yeah,
just the two leads are powerhouses.
Yeah,
and Amy Addams.
Always, I love her.
Always.
And Laura Dern in just one scene kills it.
She's good at those one scene roles. Yeah. Maybe because she looks like Bruce Dern, you know. She shows up and pulls a Bruce Dern.
And then we watched 1991's The Addams Family. The first movie series.
I haven't seen this movie in a while.
Do you rewatch Addams Family Values a lot?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen the second one more than the first one. I'm gonna say it used to pop up on like either like HBO or like USA a lot more. So I like that one's more in my memory. So when I was watching this one, it was like watching it for the first time, and it was great. It was like everything was just like hitting again. Everything was funny. And I didn't know I missed the Addams Family, but I missed the Addams Family.
I
did.
Yeah, I haven't seen the cartoon, but I heard that was also delightful, like the one that came out last year with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
we're gonna check that out and talk about it in a future episode, I guess.
Yeah. We probably should have watched it for this one, but
probably.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Time was tight.
It was already a movie to watch before the movie we did.
Yeah.
What struck me about the Addams Family
is
already homework. It's really just, at least in the first one, it's really just one joke over and over and over again, but just told in different ways through the different characters and the production design and the set pieces. Not as many as in the one we're going to cover today, but still so good. Like, it's a great joke, and it's only a 90-minute movie, 99, so it doesn't get old. Everyone sells it really well. And they're weird.
Yeah.
Get it? They're weird.
They're weird.
Things people find off-putting, they delight in.
Yeah, torture and pain, and any way they can like turn a phrase, like take something that is delightful and then just tack something on at the end of it. They do it every time, and it's good every time.
Yeah, there's a lot more of that.
There's
in the
so
first
much
one.
of that, and yeah.
The first one also feels more like the television show because I used to watch TV Land all the time. And so Addams Family was like one of the shows that was in their rotation. And The Munsters was the other one. And the first Addams Family felt like The Munsters and the TV show of the Addams Family, whereas the second one is like so macabre.
Yeah.
And that's potentially why it was like more loved, or we all watched it more when we were kids, because it's just so messed up. Whereas the first one's just like, oh, family friendly jokes about Halloween stuff. And the second one, they legit the entire first half of the movie hinges on killing a baby. Like
oh yeah. It's real dark.
I'd forgotten how much of both movies the plot relies on people trying to get a hold of the Addams Family great fortune.
I forgot
I forgot how loaded they were and how that was a huge thing.
I forgot how rich they were.
And it's all Fester's money too.
It's all Fester's, because he's the oldest,
Where did the Addams Family make their fortune?
Oil? No, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, they say every great fortune is
centuries
built
ago.
on a crime. So in terms of the Addams Family, it's probably something very terrible.
Yeah, probably some like jewel theft, or like I'm trying to think of what Dracula, because Dracula was also just rich, so it could just be gothic richness, where they're like, well, we're
treasures.
Yeah, exactly. We're just old gothic family, so we just have money.
Yeah.
But they're the fun kind of rich family.
They are the fun kind of rich family.
There's no poor people in either Addams Family movies.
Oh
it's
yeah,
just the rich family you root for, and then the shitty rich people.
Privilege.
I guess the villain in the first one is not shown.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of poor, right? Although they're still like middle class.
Yeah, they're in the neighborhood, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to get richer. That's all.
Yeah.
I forgot how Fester was brought back to life in the first one as well. Like that whole mistaken identity situation. Like,
he had amnesia.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
You had amnesia.
Yeah, they just threw it. They were just like, he had amnesia, and that was it. It's all clear. It's all good now. He got zapped, and he has his memory back.
It's weird that that's the plot of the first one.
That's
one of the members of the family has been missing for 25 years, but then comes back to try to steal their fortune under auspices of he thinks he's someone else pretending to be their brother. Turns out he's the brother.
Turns out he's the brother.
And the mom.
And it's great because he's the brother as soon as you see him in that wig. He's Fester from the beginning. Like there's no hiding the fact that he's part of the family. Like the wig doesn't change anything.
No. And then they throw another ugly wig on him in the second one to make him look like some sort of aesthetically pleasing version of Uncle Fester for blonde Joan Cusack.
White blazer,
Christopher Lloyd, brilliant as usual, making all the faces.
Christopher Lloyd is brilliant. He has so many brilliant performances.
He's great.
Especially, I feel like tied to like our childhood.
Yeah. No, he's great, but I kind of wish both movies weren't so Fester-centric.
They are.
I mean, Wednesday is just great. She gets her moments, but like, what if the plot revolved around her instead of Fester?
Yeah, I wonder if at the end of the second movie they were setting it up to follow her a little bit more. But then we never got
because Christina Ricci's star was getting really big around that time. It's getting it got really big because of the second Addams Family, and then she went on to do like Casper and all that stuff. Yeah, so unfortunately,
they couldn't afford her anymore.
Passed away.
Right.
Raul passed away, so that's probably why they didn't come back for a third one because they lost their Gomez.
Oh, he's so amazing in this. I did write down.
Yeah.
Raul Julia, he's just a treasure. His monologue with Nathan Lane in the police station
Yeah.
is Shakespearean. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just because this is like a big ensemble piece, and like it could be like some people are stronger than the other, but like everyone knows what picture they're in, and they're all committed to it to like the tens, and it's so good. Him as Gomez being you feel like that theater coming out of him. He's such like a theater performer as Gomez.
Yeah.
Any other notes on the first one before we officially get into values?
No, we just want to talk about values.
Okay.
Yeah, we just want to talk about values.
All right. In that case, let's play the trailer for Addams Family Values.
Nurse, how close are the contractions?
Every 15 seconds, doctor.
Are you in unbearable pain? My darling, is it torture?
Oui.
Forceps!
Forceps.
Go ahead!
What news?
Father, what is it?
It's an Addams. He has my father's eyes.
Gomez, take those out of his mouth. He's an adorable little baby.
Fine. Rub it in.
Children, why do you hate the baby?
We don't hate him. We just want to play with him. Especially his head.
You'll meet someone very special. Someone who won't press charges.
Isn't he a lady killer?
Acquitted.
Women must follow you everywhere.
Store detectives.
And the stork flew down from heaven and turned into a baby. Our parents had sex.
Go ahead!
What news? Father, what is it?
It's an Addams.
Paramount Pictures invites you to welcome the new arrival.
Hey, kiddo.
Did you see that? This is Mr. Linsky, our new nanny. What do we say?
Be afraid.
The new adventure.
Summer camp.
I'll be the victim. All your life.
And the new romance.
I'm engaged.
That ring.
It was our mother's. She was buried with it.
So you still desire me after all this time? The old ball and chain.
Forever.
I'll get them.
He likes you.
I'm good with my hands. I'll never forget you.
You won't?
You're too weird. Scream if you need anything.
Why are you dressed like somebody died? Wait.
Cara mia.
Addams Family Values is a 1993 American fantasy comedy directed by Barry Sonnenfeld and written by Paul Rudnick, based on the characters created by Charles Addams. He made a comic about his own family. I actually looked up the original illustrations. They're pretty funny. It was a New Yorker cartoon.
The casting is spot on. When you look at those pictures, you're like, oh, Angelica Houston was born to play this role.
Oh my goodness. I feel like this is just like, you're not gonna, this is just like the perfect version of an Addams Family movie universe. You know what I mean? As far as like the casting goes, like it's so spot on.
Pugsley leaves a little.
Anything else feels like Pugsley.
But maybe it's just because he's always paired with Wednesday, who kicks so much ass.
Yeah, and he like, what is his weirdness? His weirdness is that he wears stripes and he's chubby. Like, is that?
Yeah, that's true. He is like the most normal in the family. Even the baby in this one like out weirds him.
I feel like Wednesday could kill him and no one would notice.
Yeah, maybe that's his purpose.
Trying.
She sure is trying. And maybe his purpose is just to be there so that we have like a fun person to electrocute and stretch. But like,
yeah.
It's kind of indestructible, maybe. Maybe that's his thing.
Oh, that could be. He's no Cousin It. And he's no Fester.
No,
Fester's
definitely not.
They blow Fester up in this film, and he comes out with a fully cooked roast.
Yeah.
So the movie opens with Fester howling at the moon, really mood setting, tone setting. And then we get the Addams Family theme song on the organ.
We sure do.
It's nice. It's a good ditty. Much better than the
theme song.
Whoomp There It Is Addams Family remix at the end.
I love the oop.
Oh, it's the 90s.
It's so unnecessary.
90s. Come on.
Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam.
But
Oop, Addams Family.
Why don't they just do a remix of the theme song?
It is.
Because it's 1993, baby.
Thank you. It's 1993, baby.
We're shooting
and that like hip hop jock music is all the rage. It's all the rage. When did Space Jam come out? You know what I mean? Like
in that style.
I think Space Jam was 96.
96.
Space Jam. Let's see.
Well, you look that up. I'll mention Gomez arm wrestling thing in the beginning being a great gag.
Oh yeah.
Thing really holding its own.
Thing is great.
Yo, this is our second hand movie. Like that,
we did
the
Idle
actor
Hands,
that is the hand. Yeah, we did Idle Hand earlier this year, and
wait, is it the same hand?
It's the same hand.
Wow, it's a good hand actor.
Same hand. Yeah, it's a good hand actor. Hander.
So, while Gomez is arm wrestling, that's when Morticia goes into labor. It was teased at the end of the last one that she's pregnant. And she loves being in labor.
Yeah.
she
loves it. Yeah.
Gomez is a little jealous that he doesn't get to experience the
pain of labor. Yeah. And they're using like forceps, these like all these like torturous looking tools, and she's just like not fazed by it at all.
She actually, I believe at one point they say, "Are you in pain?" She goes, "Hmm."
Do you want anesthesia? No. But do you ask the kids?
Yeah. When it cuts to the kids who are in the like kids room of the hospital, I guess, talking to another kid whose parents are having a child, making up like the stork story, retelling that. But Wednesday's like, I know how babies are made, and she knows about sex.
And they do like a very quick zoom in on her face too.
Yeah. I never heard the diamond bit, like a diamond in a cabbage patch, and then
that's what it was.
Baby is born. It was a lot. It was a lot of extraness, a lot of extra fluff.
And then we get like a little gender reveal moment or unreveal, where they're asked if the baby is a boy or a girl, but it's announced it's an Addams.
It's an Addams.
It's kind of nice.
It could be anything, yeah.
Non-binary baby.
Yeah, ladies and gentledoms.
Is Poober a boy's name or a girl's name?
Poober. That's a terrible name.
Oh, that baby with the mustache, though, is the gift that keeps on giving. I laughed every time that dumb fake baby was on. It's like a half animatronic baby, you know, like in half
Yeah.
scenes. It's pretty funny.
This is somewhere at this point, we get a moment where Thing is playing around the Addams mansion on a roller skate. Like there's that scene in the first one where Thing is like being a hand that moves on its own, doing cool stuff around the house. But for the sequel, they're like, what do we need? How do we make it more exciting? Roller skate.
Roller skates.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's,
like typical
that's
sequel
actually
bullshit. The hand's
before she
exciting
goes into
enough.
labor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They bring the
So
baby back. They get this room set up.
Yeah.
Production design.
And Wednesday, oh, the production design is so good. The production design is so good. Wednesday and Pugsley are like cutting the stairs. They're like cutting the railing or whatever, and they're just like, now that there's a new baby here, the rule is like one of us has to be killed.
Yep.
And Pugsley's like, which one? And Wednesday's like, well, we already got one boy, so it looks like it's gonna be you.
Or the baby's gotta go. Yeah, it's almost like they're
Or the
sawing
baby.
the banister off so that the baby will fall off the banister. You know? Like they're like prepping.
They're instead of child proofing,
Yeah,
doing
they're
the opposite.
making sure it's as
that.
dangerous as possible so that this baby just like falls and smushes his head.
But also, like the baby's parents aren't helping that much. The above the crib is immobile, but it's all made of knives, just dangling over the baby's crib.
Oh yeah.
Morticia has
and
a
instead
great...
of having like a stuffed teddy bear, there's like this giant scary bear that they put over the crib.
That's the one joke I was talking about before, but it's great.
Oh.
Yeah, you just take the normal thing and then you make it morbid.
Spooky.
And then they delight in it.
A great line about like, I wish that you could become a parent so that you can pay other people to watch your children. It's like such a joy. I thought that was pretty good.
Carol Kane is the new Grandma Addams. And I didn't realize that she wasn't Grandma Addams in the first one.
Neither in the first one. Until I saw the first one, I was just like, oh, that's not her.
Did the original
nice replacement.
Did she pass away?
I don't think so, because I saw her credits and she's in something that's so I don't know what happened.
Maybe Carol Kane was available.
Yeah, she wasn't available.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need. She notes that the baby has her husband's eyes. She says to Gomez, he has your father's eyes. And Morticia says, get those out of his mouth. Good.
So Wednesday and Pugsley are trying to kill the baby.
Yeah, a little
fratricide. Kill the baby. They're trying to do a little experiment. Yeah, where they have the cannonball and they have the baby, and they're trying to see which one's gonna fall first, which one's gonna hit the ground first, and then which one's gonna bounce. There's only one way to find out.
Yep.
So they actually dropped the baby off the roof
the window,
of the house. Out. Yeah. And luckily, Gomez is like, oh, let's let some air in here. And he sticks his hands out and catches the baby.
Yeah. And like does kind of unfazed too. Kind of like he was expecting the baby to come. Very little reaction.
And then Lurch gets something dropped on his head.
Oh yeah, he gets the cannonball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, did
Poor
something
Lurch.
hit me? All right, I'm gonna just go back to cutting these weeds.
Yeah, whatever he's doing in that window.
Yeah,
like
whatever he's doing.
Over.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfazed, yeah. So now they gotta talk to the kids about the new baby and how it doesn't mean, that we love you pretty much. Which is a real life thing, but they turn it on his head and make it spoof.
Yeah, we get the repeat of from the first movie, Gomez and Fester's, I guess, handshake, to show how great sibling love can be.
Wrestling.
But their
Yeah, the
version of
sibling
that
rivalry.
is Gomez
Yeah.
throwing knives at Fester
Yeah.
while he's pinned upside down, I believe,
Yeah.
on the wall.
Always
Yeah.
pinned upside down.
I think that's like a classic
I love it. Yeah. Every time they go,
image.
brother.
Throw each other across the room.
Oh yeah.
So we have a nanny search and a little montage
Yeah.
to meet some prospective nannies.
See, this is who I would play in this movie. I'd be one of these nannies.
Which one would you be?
Probably the one in the maid's hat. The old lady.
Oh, is that the one with the puppet? With the puppet?
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote down puppet named Polly.
Very Nanny McPhee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first one that pops up is Cynthia Nixon, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, it's Cynthia Nixon."
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize her.
You know, I thought that Joan Allen was, or Joan Cusack was Joan Allen the entire time, and then I was like, "Oh, that's Sarah Jessica Parker, right?" And then I was like, "No, that's Joan Cusack."
Wait, so on the way you thought Sarah Jessica Parker?
Well, because Sarah Jessica Parker wears like an outfit like that in, I believe, Mars Attacks. Like, I think she has the same wig, and I was like, "Who is that?" As if the voice didn't give her away. She talks out the side of her mouth, Joan Cusack, but like,
the blonde is confusing.
Yeah, and she looks like John Cusack.
Well,
So
she kind of always does, right?
Yeah. So I was like, why am I?
Who looks more like the Cusacks or the Gyllenhaals?
The Cusacks.
The Cusacks.
I think the Gyllenhaals
more like, yeah.
Similar features, though.
Oh yeah, well Maggie Gyllenhaal is just Jake Gyllenhaal in a wig, but Joan Cusack is actually John Cusack in a wig.
They've done a lot of movies together. Damn, John Cusack is good.
Yeah, he's excellent.
So yeah, we meet
Joan recently. Anyway, moving on.
We meet Joan Cusack as Debbie Jelinski, blonde, very bubbly,
she's the
wearing a
last
white
one.
dress. The only person to wear a white dress in that mansion in probably years.
Yeah, it really sets her apart. She's blonde and in white, yeah.
She gets the job.
Yeah.
And Fester is watching her from the top of the stairs, just completely infatuated.
Oh yeah, too scared to like even come down and say hi.
Like,
What is love at first sight for him?
Earlier, we got a scene of him in bed reading a book that was like, how to meet women if you're a weird guy or something. Like
I wish you were wrong, but that is like essentially what it is.
Yeah. Which those books do quite well still.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's hired.
That's gonna be the love interest.
She seals the deal by talking about how she wants to like squeeze and suffocate the baby until like there's no life in it. And Gomez and Morticia share this look and like, oh, we found her. She's the one. And so she's like, I can start tomorrow. But then the baby is dropped from the top of the staircase again into Gomez's arms. And he's just like, why not start tonight?
There's a lot of sex jokes in this movie, too, that I didn't catch when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this movie's sexy.
Oh, yeah. Gomez and Morticia are very sexually active.
Yeah.
You know what? I love how because they are such a weird spooky family that Morticia and Gomez are just totally completely in love with each other, and like they only see each other. It's a great dynamic.
Yeah, I think it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
That we look from the outside, we look at them and we're like, well, they're the spooky family and they only like hate and they only like bad things, like things that we would consider bad, like knives in a mobile or a spooky bear. But they love each other and their family so much. It's beautiful.
I guess going back to the title of the movie, they decided to name the sequel Addams Family Values to kind of show, see this family, there's
They're
some,
just like you and me.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
better. They
values.
might be better than you and me
Yeah.
Yeah.
compared to the other families we see in the series.
Yeah. Like the abusive mom, Fester's abusive
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. You mean kidnapper, right?
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very quickly, the curtain is pulled back on Debbie Jelinski because we learned that night via her watching the news that she is a gold-digging serial killer named the Black Widow.
Yeah. Her
She
face is plastered very clearly.
Her face
Different
is plastered.
wigs.
She has all those wigs. She's like got pictures of herself on her bedroom wall in all her disguises, which like just follow her home and you'll find out who she is. Also, she, in a similar vein to like the newspaper articles, she also has all these articles of Fester. That's just like
Oh
Christopher
my
Lloyd
goodness.
posting
Fester's
on
Forbes?
Forbes.
Forbes?
Forbes and like
the Addams family is very well
Monthly.
known. And like rich
so
and filthy magazine. He's so rich and pretty popular.
And it's like the the headlines again, right on the nose, are just like world's richest man, Fester.
Yes.
I
love
it
shit
just
like
never
that,
goes
though.
explained why he's so rich.
I love shit like that though, because sorry, I just started laughing so much. COVID, tripped up my shit. But the obviousness of that, they don't even try to be smart. It's just like he's rich, she's bad.
He's rich.
And it happens later too when we meet these serial killer like trading cards that Wednesday and Pugsley are trading with another kid at camp, which we'll get to, but like it's so on the nose. It's just like murderer, other murderer, Black Widow. It's so funny.
The Debbie Fester romance happens pretty quickly because it's Debbie's MO and Fester is already into it. But
Yeah,
Wednesday,
he's already there.
Wednesday's on to her. She's the smart character that can see through Debbie's bullshit.
She says Morticia's
Yeah,
on.
while Debbie is like at the. You said Morticia is too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. I guess Wednesday's more
A little bit.
about it.
Yeah, because she's a kid. So, and it's great too because when Deb is like looking at all the money that they have like bonds and stocks and deeds and gold bullions. I don't even know what a gold bullion is, but they have it.
Another one of her.
And she looks. Yeah. And then she looks up over in the corner. You have Wednesday in full like camouflage paint snooping on her, and she spots her. And they just have this moment. They have this moment later on where they're like looking at her eyes. She's like, "Are you a real nanny?" What type of question is that?
I feel like Wednesday is a psychopath, so she can spot other psychopaths.
Yeah, she sniffs it out.
Yeah,
Wednesday, she's hip.
But Debbie's got some tricks.
Because the kids are like onto her, she has to get rid of them. She wastes no time.
No.
Yeah.
She's full of tricks, baby.
She's just like, look. Yeah, she's just like, hey, your kids want to go to summer camp, but they're too embarrassed to tell you because they think that you won't love them or you won't understand. So just send them to camp and don't say anything.
Don't talk.
Just do
to
it,
them
and they
about it.
yeah, don't talk to them about it. Just send them, and they do it.
When they get to
so we're off to camp
Chippewa,
which means orphans.
It means all orphan. Yeah.
That's what they say when they drop them off. They're like, do you know what Chippewa means? Orphans.
There's an exchange I like that happens pretty quickly when they arrive at Chippewa. We meet Amanda, who's the anti-Wednesday. And she's confused by Wednesday's appearance and asks, "Why are you dressed like somebody died?" And Wednesday says, "Wait."
Wait.
This was in line with
the first one.
Oh yeah, she was in the first one.
Yeah, she's the Girl Scout. Yeah, she's the Girl Scout.
And when Wednesday's like, there aren't any real Girl Scouts in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
just walks off. Yeah, and it was like a small part. I like that they brought her back.
Yeah. Sorry. It's like Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice 2, right? Where it's like, why are you dressed like you're wearing all black? She says to Wednesday. But in Beetlejuice to Winona Ryder, they're like, are you in mourning? Why are you dressed like you're in mourning? She goes, I'm in mourning for my life. Iconic.
That's a Chekhov line, I think.
Yeah, that's Masha in The Seagull. Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, okay, look at that. Pull that out. Pull that out your theater bag.
No, they did like a movie adaptation of it recently, and I saw the trailer a bunch, and the Elizabeth Moss character says that line in the trailer. I'm not familiar with the text beyond that.
It's a good one. Yeah, artists being sad. It's typical Chekhov.
So the camp is the worst place for Wednesday and Pugsley. It's pretty clear that it's not their scene.
It's very
Gary
happy, and everyone is so preppy.
Gary and Becky.
Christine Baranski and I don't know Gary's name. Just so chipper. And
Christine Baranski
and blonde.
is amazing.
Everyone is so happy and blonde.
And white.
And white, yeah.
And white, yeah.
So while Pugsley and Wednesday are at camp, Debbie's making some progress on Fester. They go on a double date to a restaurant. Debbie, Fester, Gomez, and Morticia. And it very quickly transitions into Gomez and Morticia dancing to the Addams Family theme song, like a waltz version of it.
Yeah.
Very fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. It's not an Addams Family movie without Morticia and Gomez dancing. They did a smaller one in the first one, but this is the sequel, so they had to amp it up, do a whole number with clams and knives and fire. Was there fire? Probably.
I don't think in this one.
And it's great because Gomez is trying to help set Fester up really well, like make him look romantic or as romantic and suave. And Fester he can't do it. He tries to like lay him up with a speech about how, they don't deserve these women. And Fester goes, "Yeah, we should have ugly girls." Like that's the best Fester could do. And while they're doing like this super romantic and sensual dance, Fester is next to Debbie with breadsticks in his nose.
And Debbie has to try her best to look impressed with him. It's so great.
She has to play the part. She has to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just the layers to that performance is very entertaining.
Yeah. It's great, like fake smile, dagger eyes. Or like, I'm thinking of literally anything but you. As I just smile and laugh next to you.
We get a couple scenes of Wednesday and Pugsley failing to fit in at Chippewa. My favorite of them is the ghost story.
The ghost story is really good.
I like the swimming lesson.
Yeah,
the lesson is a little bit before this one, where she's like, "I'll play the victim."
Yeah, I want to be an actress.
I'm gonna be an actress. And so she gets in the water and is like, help me. And then he's just like, okay, Wednesday, help me. And she's like, I can't swim.
I also love that all the little
Everything.
girls have matching orange bathing suits. Like they're all the literal same person just in a
Yeah.
line on the dock. And then there's Wednesday in a full dressing gown.
Oh, well, like what era is that? Is that even like a 1900s bathing suits?
Yeah, very Victorian. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's probably very heavy.
The ghost story
And
is,
yeah. Go ahead.
it's one of the things where they like take turns completing parts of the ghost story, but then Wednesday doesn't even want to participate because it's not real scary for her. I don't know. But then they urge her to, so she finishes it with just a very, very alarming story of the ghost that comes back to prove his wrath. And how do you prove it? When the kids woke up the next day, their real noses came back. Because all the
She
jokes
knows
about
how
the
to
camp,
connect.
yeah, the jokes is that the kids are all super privileged, rich families, nose jobs.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
how you
horrifies
connect to
the
your
children.
audience, you know what I mean? Yes, they look touching their nose.
Yeah, right. Then we find out that Fester doesn't know what a virgin is, even though he is a virgin. Which is really the most virgin thing imaginable.
Which also comes into question, like, how old is Fester? What is his backstory like?
What? Yeah. Yeah, I was how old is Fester? He's been missing for 25 years. How old is he?
I don't know. Christopher Lloyd at the time of filming this was probably in his late 30s, I would guess. So I guess Fester is maybe I think so.
He looks 500.
Yeah. Also, we're like, oh, that's Doc
Looks
Brown.
500.
He's 900 years old, and he's always been 900 years old.
During this scene is when I was just like, ooh, I really love the production design when they're like taking like a midnight stroll in the cemetery.
Yeah.
And they have like that smoke at the bottom, and they make the graveyard look romantic. They make it look romantic.
I know. I'm like,
And
I want
she's
to hang
able
out
to
there.
like, I want to hang out there, and she's able to like get that seat, that like Beyonce partition type seat to like lay on, to lounge on, to look stunning and like a untouched lady, you know, to entice Fester.
That's so funny.
He doesn't really pick up on her sexual advances at all, though.
No.
At all. Yeah.
But
She has to push.
But she is able to force an engagement.
And they dig up the ring
much.
from
She
the
just goes,
dead body.
I love you.
Such a
I love
good
that
grave
so
rob
much.
that shit.
That is just like peak Addams Family cinema. Like when she walks in and she's like, she has the ring, and Morticia's just like, oh, that's your mother ring. She was buried with it, and then it zooms in on her with the shovel. It's so good. that's the twist. Yeah, that's how you turn it. Yes.
And she's got, again, them danger eyes. Just like.
Yes. Yes. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, that's a good. Actually, the production design for this, I believe it was nominated for an Oscar for production design. Yeah. I think it lost to Schindler's List, which is a similar movie.
Yeah. It's a similar movie.
Yeah. The other side of the spectrum.
So we follow a really good gag with a pretty confounding gag when back at camp, Joel, played by baby David Krumholtz, little bookish, nerdy guy, also an outcast because of that, he ends up in like timeout with Pugsley and Wednesday, and when he enters the room,
And the Harmony Hut.
The Harmony Hut. Yeah.
When he enters,
Harmony Hut,
he sees a poster of Michael Jackson and just screams, and that's the end of that scene.
Yeah, at first I was just like, I didn't know how to take that, and then I was like, I guess Michael Jackson looked scary. To a kid,
it might have been a reference to the stories.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought that maybe it was because it was like his bad years. And so he was spooky in his bad years because it's also like the Thriller years. But you could also be very correct. I would not put it past the creators of the Addams Family.
I mean, I don't know. It's a weird moment that.
Yeah, very.
He freaks out.
Maybe in a.
Yeah. So yeah, they're in the Harmony Hut, and they try and break out, but they're caught at the fence. They're caught at the fence, and
they're in like the black turtlenecks with the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they look like they call them ninjas. They said our ninja friends. How can we cheer our ninja friends up? And they do, and this is a great scene. This is a great scene because they sing "Kumbaya." They sing "Kumbaya" to them, and for the first time, the whole camp, and for the first time, Wednesday is scared. Like she's like grabbing onto the fence, like, oh no, like what is this? This joy is too much. It's overpowering me.
Meanwhile, bachelor and bachelorette parties are happening, in which Debbie gets to meet some of the extended Addams family.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the gag of cousin It. In the first movie, Cousin It found a woman. A woman found Cousin It. So she's back now with Cousin It's child, her child. So it's just a tiny Cousin It with like a little binky. It's just
Cousin It
like
really
a hair.
Works. What?
Yeah, it's just like a toupee and a hand.
Oh, named what? Right.
Yeah, Cousin It really works for me in this film. He just really makes me laugh.
Oh yeah.
Cousin It is great. I remember Cousin It from the sitcom and being like kind of not enamored, but just interested in like this hair thing that just walks around. And and just it speaks gibberish, but everyone understands.
It's the voice for me. It just like it happens, and it makes me giggle.
The guys get
another
Fester
great
a
gag
cake.
that happens. Oh,
yeah,
I was just about to say this one.
Yeah.
And Gomez is like, ta-da, like something's supposed to pop out the cake. Nothing's happening. Ta-da, he does it again. Nothing pops out the cake. He looks inside. There's nothing but smoke. They cooked the girl alive.
Lurch baked, quote, that poor girl in the cake.
In the cake.
So now they're murderers. Now they're just straight up murderers.
Now they're murderers.
I think they've been murderers.
And just say la vie.
I mean, they've got lots of money, so.
Right, so whatever.
Yeah.
They're on the cover of Forbes.
Yeah. There's a really dark version to this movie that's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel and Wednesday have a bit of a romantic moment on the dock. Really beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Their silhouettes against the nighttime
the
lake.
Blue, the blue water. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, she's
digging him.
Yeah, she warms up to him because he's got like his own kind of morbidness in that he's allergic to fucking everything. So he's very aware of his own mortality. So Wednesday's into that.
Yeah. I love how
she she scoots over closer to him.
Wait, you could die at any moment? He's like, at any moment. Yeah. She just goes like, oh. Okay.
It's so cute. It's so cute. And she invites him as her +1, but not as a date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is she says? I have a pass. Do you want to come?
Yeah, I have
like
a
a pass.
Yeah. And I love the way she says no. It's like a kid. It's so innocent. Like he's like, as a date, she's like, no.
Well, I guess something we forget about Wednesday as well is that she's probably like 12.
Yeah.
Right?
She's also 500.
Yeah, she is also 500. Pugsley's like
Five-
8. She's like 12.
512.
She's like 12. There's that line in the beginning where someone's like, Wednesday's at that age where there's only one thing you think about.
Yes.
And someone said boys, and she says homicide.
Yeah.
But no, she's got a boy now. So they go to the wedding as friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fiddler on the Roof was just very big in the 90s because
Sunrise
Sunset is played on the organ. I spoke about it earlier, like a couple weeks ago when I rewatched Lion King 1.5 because they Timon and Pumbaa sing that as part of the Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
I think Nathan Lane wasn't in Fiddler, but I was gonna say I think Nathan Lane was in Fiddler. But I don't believe he was, unless he was in a stage version.
May have been in a production of it.
I can't imagine he wouldn't be. He's in this movie.
Yeah. Obviously, Thing is the ring bearer. He's carried on a pillow holding the ring. And my favorite, probably your favorite, Cousin It as the officiant.
Yeah.
And then Fester's vows are great. He pledges his undying love. Just so intense.
To worship her.
He's a slave to her love, I think it says.
Yeah.
And Debbie dittos.
Yeah, she dittos him. She's starting to show a little bit more that she's like grossed out.
Mm-hmm. Which is like she's a serial killer. But she finds the Addams off-putting.
Oh, something I forgot to mention earlier is that when she's watching the video, like the news article about herself, because she's also like loves to watch news about herself, the name of the show was America's Most Disgusting Unsolved Crimes.
Oh man, I missed that.
Eating popcorn, like
yeah. So
Hawaii.
Debbie throws the bouquet, and Wednesday gets it. She doesn't catches it, but she does end up with it.
Promising for Joel.
Yeah, promising for Joel.
And
it's binding. She has to get married now.
Fester and Deb go off to Hawaii for their honeymoon. We don't get to see any of the island, just their bathroom. Seeing seeing Fester just in the bubble bath.
Oh yeah,
Christopher Lloyd in Fester makeup, just surrounded by bubbles. It's just very funny.
Yeah,
like so many chins too, because he's like doing that weird thing on purpose where you flatten yourself into a turtle with no neck just to do it.
So under the auspices of setting a romantic scene, Debbie suggests she's got a ghetto blaster, I guess, giant boombox that she's gonna put on some love songs from her compilation of 500 love songs.
I love how it's so obvious what she's about to do, because she has this boombox, but it's plugged in with this giant extension cord that she has to like whip around. You know, she's showing you what's about to happen here. And Fester is just unaware that she's going to do this to him, or doesn't care because he's indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old gag too of the light bulb. That's like a classic Fester thing, that he's like electrically charged, so he can put light bulbs in his mouth and they light up. I never understood the physics of it, but it's a good gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
they're
it's
weird.
always been his thing.
Yeah, they're just weird. He's bald, so light bulbs light up.
Maybe that's how they got.
He looks like a light bulb.
They can generate energy. Yeah.
If I was a human generator, I would sell out in a moment. That's all I'm saying. Or maybe this is where he got that power from Debbie trying to murder him. Yes. It's an origin story.
He does it in the first one. He does.
Oh,
he does do it in the first one.
I forgot about Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie slams it into the water.
Yeah.
And there's a big explosion. Mm-hmm. Very nice lighting effects here, like that blue to black, and it makes her look. But Fester's alive. He's fine. Mm-hmm. And he's still very sweet on her. He's just like, babe.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Then she has two rules for him before they do the deed. And it's no giggling.
Upset. Yeah.
No giggling and no hand puppets.
No hand puppets.
No
Did he mention that he has hand puppets?
No. So I don't know what Fester's idea of virginity was before, but whatever he had engaged in as a sexual act before this moment had included giggling and hand puppets.
Yeah.
It's very specific.
And
Deb tries to pull a quick one on Fester where she says, you haven't had sex before. How do you know we didn't just do it?
Oh,
yeah, how do you know
she's trying to get out of it
now.
But she doesn't. We have to see Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester orgasm. That's a thing in this movie.
That is a thing in this movie. This movie is rated PG.
Yeah, that's amazing. They say sex. They talk about how babies are made. There's death, murder,
orgasms,
homicide, attempted fratricide, and orgasm.
Yeah. And that's all right. As long as you don't show murder or boobs or say fuck.
More than once.
Or buns, yeah.
Or buns.
Don't show buns.
No, and it's great too. She makes him promise that if they make love, that he can never see his family again.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, when he first experiences sex, it's just like, yeah, I will never see my family again.
He's like, sure, whatever you say. You want me to wear an apron? You want me to wear a wig? You want me to never see my family again? Sure, sounds great.
Exactly.
So now Fester is cut off from the rest of the Addams, and it has some astounding effects on baby Pubert, who's transformed.
Oh, yeah. Into a bouncing little piece of joy.
Blue-eyed, rosy-cheeked, golden-haired baby that loves being Red Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. And Morticia's like, oh, no. He's possessed.
My baby.
They act like they got a demon child.
Yes.
Because he could become the president.
Or a
lawyer.
Or a doctor.
Or orthodontics.
Oh, that's what it was, an orthodontist.
Yeah.
Grandmama figures out that Pubert changed because of the disruption in the family. Gomez
Grandmama's big
depressed.
Scenes are coming. Grandmama was not in the movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
And now here come her scenes.
Yeah.
That would be a really great if they ever if they were to do a third one, it would be a cool thing if Pubert thing was that he had extreme split personality disorder where he would be a full Addams, little Gomez, and then at the snap of a finger he would be bubbly blonde hair. You never know which one you're gonna get.
Well, he's weird.
And that's his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're all weird. And before his weird superpower was that he had a mustache. and
that he could catch a guillotine with his bare hands. That did happen.
That did happen. God, that mustache on his face is so funny.
Fester sends out postcards saying, you know, I love you and we're having a great time and I'm never gonna see you again.
Yeah. Love Fester. P.S. Debbie
love
says hi.
Fester.
Yeah.
P.S. Yes. And Gomez is like, you know, like, why? I love my brother. I would crawl on my belly on glass and hot coals for him. And, you know, he's so poetic and passionate. He, you know, has this whole spiel and he sends one to Wednesday and she's just like, he's a dead man. Like she knows what Debbie is up to.
Do they know at that point? Like, had they seen the trading cards, the serial killer trading cards? By
The
that
trading
point
card
in the movies?
comes up. It's coming up soon.
Oh, okay.
It's coming up soon, actually.
So she's just saying that because now he's married.
yeah, pretty much. Fester. What happens next is Fester gets the new look because they come back from Hawaii.
It's got like a bowl cut wig.
They come back. Yes, it's like a bowl cut, mushroom, little bob.
Carrot top situation.
Going on.
Turquoise
and,
turtleneck.
Turtleneck.
He's like,
yes, the turtleneck is great. Yeah, because he's like all shoulders.
Turns into a square man, like even more square than he was before. White is not his color.
No.
It makes him look like a tent.
You thought he was pale before.
Like... Yeah, exactly.
So back at Chippewa, they're putting on a Thanksgiving play, and Wednesday is cast as Pocahontas. Why is? I assume it's a summer camp, right?
It is.
So why are they doing a Thanksgiving play?
Didn't they pick holidays? Wasn't that a scene earlier?
I may have missed that. Okay,
so they
do
also be
it.
Very wrong. And they might just have picked Thanksgiving because it gives her a chance to privilege.
Right.
Yeah.
But Wednesday initially refuses to participate. So her Pugsley and Joel are sent to the Harmony Hut, and they're forced to watch a couple Disney movies. You see, it's the shot of outside from the woods of the hut. It's like a time lapse thing where it starts with The Sound of Music, then transitions into the Brady Bunch theme, and then Tomorrow from Annie.
Yeah.
Which I don't think any of those are Disney.
No.
They
probably
on Disney Plus.
Sound of Music, okay. They do say that they're like, okay, we're gonna watch Bambi or The Little Mermaid, or I forget the third one. And we didn't hear any of those movies.
They probably in post-production couldn't get the rights.
I'm sure.
The licensing to the music, and they had to change the music. But it doesn't matter because it turned out great, and it's still you get the point that they were tortured with super happy and positive material for hours. Yes.
But it doesn't break Wednesday. She pretends it did. When they let him out, Wednesday pretends to have been changed and agrees to be in the performance. And she does this fake smile that just looks so painful.
Give her the Oscar.
So good.
Give her the Oscar.
Amazing.
Justice for Christina Ricci as Wednesday Addams. Yes. Morticia, Angelica Houston got nominated for a Golden Globe at least.
Mm-hmm.
But Wednesday got left in the dust, and I won't stand for it. I won't sit for it.
I won't stand for it. Same.
So
speaking of, because Joan Cusack also should have got something for this.
She's amazing.
Well,
yeah. So
she's amazing.
Raul Julia, Joan Cusack, and Christina Ricci. We're ready. Let's write to the Academy about a movie that came out in 1993.
Yeah.
That was the Forrest Gump year. Forrest Gump won a bunch of stuff. Anywho.
The Addams.
Zemeckis again.
The Addams Visit Debbie.
Yeah.
The Addams Visit Debbie. Oh, but Debbie has a
Yeah, at
great
her new house.
line before while they're moving into the house. She's yelling at the movers because they have like this couch in
Yes.
their hands. And she goes, "These are beautiful things. They're from catalogs."
Catalogs.
Oh yeah. Also, Debbie has
Oh
a
man.
huge house, even bigger than the Addams, which like she should quit while she's ahead. She already killed two rich husbands.
Two husbands.
She's going
Yeah.
after another to expand her wealth, but she's already loaded.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good.
Yeah,
Although,
she's loaded. She's getting everything she's wanted.
yeah, I do wonder how much of that money is Fester's. But like that feels weird because how would she have his money if she didn't kill him? Because in the beginning, when we're like learning who she is, she has $4 and like 37 cents on her nightstand.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're right.
She burns through money.
Well, I would too if I wore fur like that. Oh my God. Every
Oh my
outfit she wears
goodness,
is like
the
a
fur.
full
This
mink
was-
collar.
Oh,
So the Gomez
it's
Morticia.
so glamorous.
That's so camp. It's high camp.
Yes, it's so camp. It's high camp. She's so camp as a villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. And I love the sequence when the family comes to visit and she's like even more of a baddie, you know, she's even more bad, and she's just like, Fester won't see you. He doesn't want to see you, and you need to get out of my house.
He's hiding in a corner.
Morticia's just like, you turned him into a He's like in a corner, like in fetal position, just like, go away. I don't want to see you.
Go away.
and I love the exchange between Morticia and Debbie, because Morticia's like, you turned him into a love slave. I can appreciate
I respect that.
But
yeah.
Debbie, I respect that. But Debbie, pastels. And like that's the line that can't be crossed.
Get out. Get out.
Get out. And it's after this sequence that the baby hair turns blonde.
Oh, because Grandma puts the hex on Debbie, but it might have backfired.
It might backfire on
It's such a weird part of this movie.
Yeah, Grandmama's big scene, and you're like, what is happening? And she goes, I'm doing a hex. And you go, oh, okay, whatever. Thanks, Carol Kane.
So back at camp, they are now working on the production of A Turkey Called Brotherhood.
Yeah, he does, right? That's the number?
Oh, yeah, we got the turkey musical number.
Yeah, with Pugsley as the turkey.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Pugsley, you remember Pugsley? Yeah, watching this movie.
I didn't even take a note of that scene. I was just like, get to Pocahontas already.
Yeah.
We finish this song.
Mm-hmm. So it's the
bomb. Right? Is it Debbie practices her cry in the mirror and she leaves Fester with a bomb?
Oh.
That's
she leaves Fester with the bomb.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk more about the play.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's the like standard lies kindergarten Thanksgiving story play with pilgrims and Indians meeting together peacefully. But yeah, there's some race-based humor earlier with like them not being able to pronounce a kid named Jamal's name.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they reference like all the other kids that don't fit in, and there's like that's where all the people that aren't white
other
go.
Kids are the Indians,
right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, they cast
like even if you're white, but not white, you're an Indian.
Yeah, if you're weird.
Or if you're in a
If you're
cast, I
weird.
think there's just a guy in a cast, and he's
Oh yeah, the guy in the cast.
yeah.
In a wheelchair, yeah. If you're in a wheelchair, you're an Indian, yeah.
Because of course the beautiful.
If you're someone Hitler would have killed, you're an Indian.
You're an Indian.
So Wednesday goes off book and talks about the American genocide of the indigenous peoples, how we're on stolen land, and then threatens retribution. Refuses to join the pilgrims at the table, and lights the set ablaze.
Yeah, she
burns down the house.
She sets that stage on fire. She sure was having fun, you know? Yeah, and
it
then
got
people
real
are
dangerous.
like, you know, popular media is teaching kids so many things. And you're like, what are you talking about? I mean, popular media has said all sorts of stuff since the beginning of time. Yeah. So, like, get out of here. And it's all correct. Like, most of it.
Becky ends up tied to a stake where
they're really about to
burn her like a witch.
Yeah, as they're pouring gasoline, the parents are kind of like starting to freak out, like, do something before our girl is burned alive.
I forget what happens. I don't think she ends up dying, but also Wednesday and Pugsley and Joel remain in control of the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesday and Pugsley kind of just leave on their own because now they can, right?
Yeah. The camp is on fire pretty much, and their job is done. They burnt that whole thing. The cancelers are like on a pit roast. You know what I mean? They're tied up. They're being pulled. Yeah.
It's so dark. So now they stole a van, and they got on the other side of the fence, so they're good to go. But Joel, sweet Joel, has some unfinished business. He needs to go back for the other kids, so he can't join Wednesday and Pugsley. So on opposite sides of the fence, Joel and Wednesday are going to have a very romantic moment where they use the names that Morticia and Gomez use. Mon chéri.
Mon chéri, mon ami.
Yeah. And they kiss.
Yeah, and then they're kissing white.
Yeah, they're both white.
In case you forgot they were children, yeah. It's like, here's a nice kiss.
You know, and then Pugsley drives off in the van.
Right. Yeah. No license. No.
So now
seatbelts.
Debbie's gonna attempt to kill Fester again.
He's the getaway driver. You need Pugsley is the getaway driver, and you need a getaway driver.
You do.
It's important.
That's why he's in this movie.
Yes. So yeah, Debs is going to she's going to blow the whole house up. And I love when she it's just like, I'm gonna leave you this present and then I'll be right back. He's trying to guess what it is, and he goes, "It's a bomb." And she goes, "What?" And she's like, no, I'll be right back. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And as she's leaving, she has these two big bags with her. She's like, "Yeah, I'll be right back.
I just want to remember you exactly like this." It's like, but you're going to be right back.
Exactly.
She has this moment.
And she goes to this bar.
Oh, she goes to the bar.
Oh, yeah, in the car.
Right. First, she goes to
she actually does go to. She goes to the bar first.
Sailors, yeah. Tony Shalhoub.
And there's a Tony Shalhoub cameo.
Yeah.
Playing Jorge, because he looks like a young Latinx man.
I guess.
Tony Shalhoub looks like whatever the script calls for Tony Shalhoub to look like.
Yeah. But nice I love
as cast as anything, yeah.
It's like Oscar Isaac.
Right.
Yeah. Guatemala.
Yeah. He's everything.
Like, you can be anything.
She actually leaves the bar and she goes back to watch the explosion.
Yeah, what was the point of the bar?
It was the point of her leaving.
Yeah, I guess maybe
she was gonna come back and watch.
Was it for an alibi?
She was
Yeah.
she was gonna like get wasted and hang out there. Yeah, maybe an alibi.
But she goes back to the scene of the crime. But she doesn't watch the explosion. It's great. She's sitting in the car, like getting ready for it to happen. Just staring straight ahead while we see the explosion out the window. But yeah,
unfazed.
Just a great villain moment. But
help,
Fester.
Help.
Yeah, right. She's practicing God for help. But Fester emerges from the wreckage. But she pulls a gun.
With the fully cooked. Yeah.
With the roast, yeah. Debbie pulls a gun on him though. She's done.
She's had enough.
Yep. He says, "Don't snuff
unhinged.
Me. Yeah. Don't snuff me out, Debbie."
She's like, I tried to make it look like an accident. I tried to make you go out with dignity, but no, you had to make it difficult.
But,
and she's gonna shoot him.
Yeah, but the real getaway driver, I'd say, drives Debbie's car into her. Fester gets in Debbie's car and they escape. And this gag, that's next, because right away it cuts to Debbie in another car. The license plate Debbie 2. It's a Mercedes-Benz.
Debbie 2. Debbie 1.
They took her one car.
That's great.
Now she has a second one, yeah.
So she's
again another one like right on the nose. This is my second car.
Yeah.
With my vanity plate.
So now she's following them to the Addams mansion. Fester gets back, apologizes to Gomez. Also,
who's on his deathbed.
Oh yeah, so dramatic. Wednesday and Pugsley return, and they're like, "Oh, you're back. Okay."
Great.
Yeah. And they forgive him for sending them to camp where they made him sing and dance.
Yeah, they said, "You made us safe. How dare you?"
Yeah. How dare you? But they love to torture each other, so it's water under the bridge for them.
Yeah. But then Debbie comes, and she's got him tied up. She has are the electric chairs already in the Addams house, you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That feels
they just
like
already had electric chairs for everyone.
Yeah. Well, probably everybody around the dinner table, right?
Yeah. Because I guess they do have the switch right on the wall.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you think about it too hard, it doesn't make sense that each person has an electric chair. There's enough electric chairs for everyone. And she's able to get a board so that she can do a slideshow and get a projector.
Right. The scene just starts
all
with
laid
her.
out for her.
The scene starts with her having everyone in captivity already. We don't get to see how she takes down every single Addams, some of which have supernormal strength, and some of which are soon to be murderers.
Well, that's sort of like in Emperor's New Groove, you know, when Yzma and Kronk go down the hole and then they get to the secret passageway before Kuzco and Pacha. And Kuzco and Pacha are like, "Hey, how'd you get here before us? We were ahead of you." And they go, how did we? And Kronk pulls down like a spreadsheet essentially. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And they just go, "Oh well." Like that's what this scene feels like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Debbie's villain speech, sideshow equipped villain speech, is great. We get to hear her origin story, how she ended up so evil, and it is terrifying.
It's great.
I
just love the way she like
Barbie, not Malibu Barbie.
Malibu Barbie. I'm not
Barbie.
Malibu. I'm delicate and soft.
Ballerina Barbie.
So yeah, she
she burned the house down.
Killed her
burned
husband.
the house down. Killed her.
Yeah.
Killed her
with
parents.
an axe, the car, because they wouldn't get her a Mercedes. They wouldn't get her something she wanted, so she had to kill him. And I love how she's like, the Addams family, like, you guys took me in and accepted me for who I am, but did you really love me? And Gomez goes, hands. And I swear all of them would have raised their hand like, yes, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
we're loving all of this right now. Like Morticia is like on the brink of tears when Deb is like pleading her case of like, don't I yearn? Don't I deserve love? Don't I shop? And Morticia's just like, yes.
We haven't talked about Morticia much, so I just need to bring up to praise it the makeup on her. How they have like her eyes brighter than the rest of her face,
constantly illuminated.
On her eyes is so great.
Yeah, it's real moody.
Even as a kid, I was just like, how did they do that? Like I was so fascinated by the way they lit her.
Yeah,
I think it's makeup.
It's gorgeous. I think it's a little bit of both. I think they like highlighted her eye sockets all the way to here like a mask. Yeah. And then they shuttered the whole frame, kind of like my window is doing to me right now.
There's some scenes with multiple people in it and she still has that look. Maybe not in the first one, but I noticed it was consistent this time.
Gorgeous. Yeah. And it's a choice. And it probably takes a lot of time, whatever it was. But it's just
and it restricts her. It restricts her movement. She has to like stay in her light. She has to stay in that position.
Which is interesting.
Like she just knocks it out. Yeah.
She's so stoic that like Morticia doesn't really move that much anyway.
Yeah.
Which is nice. She's so good.
She's so good, and I love it. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, her trying to bond with her newly normal baby by reading Cat in the Hat. It's nice that she's trying, right? She hasn't disowned this child that she's disgusted with.
Trying.
But she's like reading Cat in the Hat. She looks down. She's like, "Are you really into this?" And the baby's into it. And then she flips to the end. And she's like, "Oh, the cat lives."
Oh no. Also, since Debbie came back and now has everyone hostage, the baby is back to normal. Like it burped fire. There's like a quick cut where like the baby burped fire, so now the baby is back to how it used to be.
Is so weird.
The demon was exhumed, I guess. I don't know.
So yeah, Debbie has everyone else tied up.
The thing that's happening here because he saves the day.
Yeah,
there's like this really long game, really long like Pee-wee Playhouse moment with the baby and the cannonball and a seesaw and an airplane, and he lands exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah, it's a little Rube Goldberg. It didn't do anything for me. It was probably fun at the time, but.
Well, also sometimes with movies like this, I think about how it's a quote unquote kids movie. So like they put in things like that because kids like to watch people get hurt or people get, kicked in the nuts or fall down or some weird Rube Goldberg thing with a baby. And so I think about that often because this movie doesn't feel like a kids movie in the traditional sense at all. So I wonder if they're like, well, this is for all
a family movie.
Yeah, this is a family movie, so let's put in something wacky at the end.
Maybe. I feel like the sequel just has the sequel has a lot more set pieces and a little less like one-liners. And I think I liked the comedy of the first one, but the story of the second one. It's great that we have both.
It is great, and they exist, and one doesn't cancel the other.
Right. It's a wonderful thing.
So the baby lands in the basement as Debbie is flipping the switch to electrocute everyone. And he's able to, I guess all the atoms are indestructible. He's able to grab the wire and put it together and change the course of the electricity and send it back to Deb, who's then fried and turned into dust.
Yes, when Fester and Thing are driving away and escaping, there's a reference to Wizard of Oz where she says, "I'll get you and that hand, your little hand too." And now she is electrocuted and becomes just a pile of ash and just her shoes, which is another Wizard of Oz reference. Also, credit cards.
Oh yeah, and the credit cards are great. Yeah. That's the touch. That's the touch.
Yeah.
The cards are there.
Everything except her plastic. Yeah. The thing that killed her love of money. Now that shit's gonna get maxed out.
So then we get the title card Sometime Later, which is exactly a year from when the movie started because it's I still can't say his name because it's not a name. Pubert's first birthday party.
Pubert.
Yeah, his first birthday.
Yeah, so we get to see all the extended Addams family again. Also, Joel stopped by. Joel and
they did see each other again.
Yeah, Joel and Wednesday are together.
I like how they put a nice little bow on Fester's love life by introducing us to dementia. Yeah, and it's like, oh, she's the perfect woman for him because she looks just like him.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
Is the nanny for Cousin It's and Margaret's baby, and she's just nanny. She's the female Fester.
Is that Christopher Lloyd in a wig, or in a bald, not in makeup? I don't think so, but
I don't know.
It was a thought I had.
It's another actor, but that would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been right.
The woman version of Fest, yeah.
It's Carol Hankins, who has 2 credits to her name. She was also the nervous lady on a talk show in the movie SFW.
She says to Fester, "My name's Dementia. It means to go insane or something." And Fester's like, "My name's Fester. It means to rot." And then that's when they recognize the chemistry.
Yes, it's there. It's off the charts.
Speaking of off the charts chemistry, Wednesday and Joel are on a romantic night stroll at the graveyard where we visit Debbie's grave, listed Debbie Addams. What does it say?
Wife and psycho.
Wife
and psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah.
It was good. And Joel is like, what Wednesday says she's not dead because she was a killer. She's dead because she's sloppy. If I wanted to kill my husband, I could do it. And Joel says, how?
And get away with it.
Yeah, I'd scare him to death. And he says, no, you wouldn't. But then as he's bent over
I don't know why he doubts her.
Yeah, I know. Has he not met Wednesday?
Did he not watch the movie the whole time?
Exactly. We were watching the same movie here.
So he lays flowers down on Debbie's grave, and a hand erupts from the ground to grab him, in on the joke, as if it's Debbie's hand. And it ends with Wednesday smiling, a real smile, not a pain.
A real smile,
not a pain smile. Yeah, a pain. Be interesting to see those 2 shots next to each other of her trying to smile to pretend she's into Pocahontas and the genuine thrill of scaring a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we already talked about the Whoomp, there it is. Whoomp, the Addams Family, there it is.
Addams Family. Yeah, Whoop. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's a remix that exists.
There it is. Yes.
It's so good. Yes. I don't know why that wasn't nominated for an Oscar. Maybe a Grammy, at least,
Best original song.
Best remix of an original song that was an original song in the 50s.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get 5 songs for that category.
Wait, so who was Nathan
in the 90s
in this movie?
Who was what?
Nathan Lane was the police officer.
Cop.
We actually
we skipped
over that scene. Yeah. We spoke about it earlier, but we skipped over it when he went over there and tried to tell the police about Debbie, and they wouldn't listen to him because they're just like, "You're crazy. You crawled out from under a rock. Get out of here."
You're spooky ooky. You're spookier,
Nathan
ookier,
Lane
and
being
kookier. Yeah.
the most normal, the most like his most hetero character, I'll say, ever in the Addams Family Values.
And then he played Gomez in the Broadway show.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, there's a whole musical. Yeah. It is questionable at best, but there is a musical, The Addams Family. And it also follows Wednesday as she tries to marry a normal person.
Interesting. Cool. So
like
that the musical is the Wednesday story.
Yes. Yeah. Pugsley's still not in it.
Pugsley not in it?
Yeah, he's like half in it, yeah. But
he gets half the musical number.
I think he like yells in the background of one. But Nathan Lane played Gomez and BB Newirth played Morticia. Krista Rodriguez was Wednesday. It's okay. It's fine.
It's okay.
It's cute, which is annoying. Because I wouldn't describe this movie as cute.
It's not supposed to be cute. No.
No.
It's not supposed to be cute.
Describe this movie
throw
as
anything on Broadway.
The only thing cute in this movie is Puber with the baby with the mustache.
And Cousin It. Yeah. Cousin It's cute.
Yeah. Kinda. I don't know. I wouldn't use cute to describe.
He does look like he smells, but I think he's cute.
Silly, yeah.
Cousin What's cute?
Cousin What?
With a little binky, that's true.
Yeah, Cousin What.
Any small version of something that's usually larger is automatically adorable.
Pubert, yeah. It's just a smaller Gomez. Raul Julia's cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's handsome.
He's handsome, yeah. He's handsome.
Baby David Krumholtz is cute.
Little
Baby
Crumb.
Grinch is cute.
Little Crumb.
So, is Addams Family Values a movie or a film? It's a big question.
Yeah. Who wants to answer first?
No, go ahead.
I'll say movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with movie as my opinion. Just like exemplified by the baby pure Rube Goldberg machine scene and like thing on roller skates. It's spectacle. It's you get to spend more time with the Addams family. There's not really a point to it other than they're weird and funny and someone's going after their money again.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. What do you think?
I think it's high art film.
I think.
I actually do think it might be a film for me because like there's some sense of sophistication within the little kidness of it.
Yes.
Like I think that the performances are so good that it's like I'm like glued to the screen in a way that blockbuster like movies I don't necessarily invest in the acting as much. But for this I'm like, oh, this is like a film that I get into. And I can also pinpoint where the like weird macabre things that I like as an adult came from.
Nice.
Like from watching this as a kid, like this and Casper and Beetlejuice, like, and Edward Scissorhands, you know, is a sort of lineup of strange, sad, offbeat characters. And I think something that ties all of those together is really good acting. And I think really good acting can elevate a movie from a movie to a film, for me personally.
Also a very distinct visual aesthetic and the super artful production design, costuming, lighting.
Yeah, like you can see the love and the care and the detail work that went into it, which is a little bit different than like a CGI Thanos coming in and taking, you know, poofing people into dust. You know, like that's a movie.
Oh man, I love that so much. I was definitely gonna say movie. Like movie was just like on my mind. But everything you said is right, and like good acting, like nuanced acting can like take something like, yeah, but I am gonna say that Addams Family Values is a movie. I'm gonna agree with Nate. Yeah, it's a movie film.
Or for the outside opinion.
Yes.
No, I liked that argument.
Yes.
I do think it's interesting to quantify like a movie and a film, though.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great because we kind of did Sleepy Hollow, and I was like, oh yeah, that's like a way of thinking that like I don't necessarily always do because I just let the movie wash.
I think it's kind of a stupid distinction, but
I think it's interesting.
He thinks it's so silly.
You're like, we gotta hinge a podcast on something.
It was my idea. We needed a,
and it was his idea.
I know, it was my idea.
Like,
admittedly, I came up with the name first.
That's okay. I named my podcast after a movie Johnny Depp is not in.
I was thinking about that. I was like, is Johnny Depp in Deep Impact?
No, he's not. Elijah Wood is in Deep Impact, which I also had an unhealthy obsession with Elijah Wood when I was a kid. I also believe Christina Ricci was in Deep Impact, but I could be very wrong about that. No, well, Vanessa Redgrave's in it. She's not Christina Ricci. Okay. I forget who the love interest is in that movie. Whatever, it's not important. That's a movie. Most of Johnny Depp's output, we've learned, are movies.
Are movies, yes.
So just to repeat, if listeners want to hear more of Jenna, check out the Depp Impact podcast. Going through Johnny Depp's filmography. Where else can people find you?
You can find me on the interwebs at Less Than a Muffin. Most places, on the Twitter, on the Instagram. Also JennaCursey.com for all other acting and whatever things I'm doing now, because we've all had to pivot and do all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, all type of other things or nothing.
All sorts of the other things are up on there. Yeah, Depp Impact's available. All places podcasts are available. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out Terrill's episode of Sleepy Hollow. This was a joy. Yeah. I'm so happy to do this. Thank you for having me on.
Very nice to have you.
Yes.
And to talk about a movie that I haven't seen in forever, and it really like brought me that spark of joy in a time where there's not much joy to be found. So
it's great. Exactly. It's great when a movie from the past holds up very well.
Yeah, and you don't watch this with any caveats. Like, Addams Family Values isn't a movie that I'm like, well, you know, it was 1993, so. And I find myself doing that a lot lately, especially on my podcast, where like a lot of Johnny Depp's movies do not hold up. And like watching this, I was like, oh yeah, we don't have to watch it with like, well, with my modern sensibilities, this movie isn't good anymore, you know.
Is that your impression of me on the Sin City podcast? Because that's exactly what I sounded like.
Yeah, that movie, there's things to be said about it for sure, but
and he said them. He did. Believe me.
And we should totally do a crossover, like a true crossover episode one of these days. All three of us.
Yeah. Great. You can find us at MovieFilmpod on Twitter, Facebook. If you're watching this on Instagram, nice to be seen. Maybe hit that like and subscribe button. Always wanted to say that. Email us at moviefilmpod@gmail.com. If you have any questions, we'll answer them. And we'll be back next week with another guest and another episode of Film.
Addams Family Values.
There it